If you see videos where I'm wearing the same clothes, I might have just been lazy and not changed clothes, but I might have filmed them on the same day, because this one is one I'm filming on the same day as one of my other videos, and because I wanted it to be fresh in my mind, and because I wanted to talk. I think it's very important. I think it's really, really important. And I wanted to talk about the stigma that comes with, especially surrounding psychosis, and like how people are like, oh, you're so psychotic because you're just like being crazy. And it's like, especially with people who are like trying to be genuine. They're trying to be like, oh, it's like you're just like being so crazy. It's like you're psychotic. It's like, but psychosis is a very specific type of crazy, I guess. And I say that as someone who is seeking a diagnosis as maybe of bipolar disorder with psychotic features, because I think I experience psychosis sometimes, and I don't know if I do, because it's a very hard thing to know if you experience. But I remember back to when I had just, because I think I've stated before that like in my life, it's like I can only kind of see it as like before and after my suicide attempt, and it's like not even a choice I make. It's just how my brain, like, I guess, organizes things. But I think back to like right after, when I was in groups with people, there was a girl there who had, I think she had either major depressive disorder with psychotic features or bipolar disorder with psychotic features. I think her diagnosis was like changing when she was in the group, and she was confused about it too, but she had some type of psychosis. And it's like she was very normal. She was very normal. She would come into group. It's like she had things she went out and did and all of this stuff. She was a really nice girl. I wish I had kept in touch with her. I don't remember her. I think her name was Stacy. And I wish I had been able to keep in touch with her. I might know someone who might have her contacts or something, and I might be able to get in touch with her or something. But she was really nice, and she really seemed normal in the group and all that, and she was like really leveled out and stuff. It's like, but just like everyone else, it's like she was just a person having a hard time. And the thing about psychosis, I think, is it's not something someone can help. It's not like people throw it at someone like, it's like, oh, you're so freaking psychotic, like they can help it. It's like, but psychosis is like having a panic attack. You can't help when it comes on. It's just kind of gripping your mind. And there are coping methods for it, but just, it's kind of a thing that happens. There's this huge stigma, and so many people don't know what it is. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why this came up today for me. Let me find it in my phone. If I can find it. Here's the guy. He says, yeah, he says that I was like becoming psychotic because I couldn't deal. He says I was becoming like psychotic because of like boyfriend drama and stuff in the past, And it's like, I may or may not have actually been psychotic in the moment, but if I was, I couldn't actually help it, because the thing is with my ex-boyfriend ran off and left me pregnant and miscarrying his child. He left me with HSV1, which for everyone else might be a completely normal thing. You know, you might have no symptoms, but for me, it's something that comes on every time I have a cold sore or whatever. It's like, I have like, my throat swells up and I can barely swallow. It's like I have sores on my tongue, and it's like I can almost eat nothing. And it's like, the virus beats down my body so much, I can't even walk. I can barely walk to the bathroom. It's like this morning I got up and it's like I've been out of bed once today. And that's why I'm doing these videos. It's like, because this is something I can do like while I'm in bed. It's like, because I can't get out of bed. It's like, that is something. And my boyfriend left me with all of this physical stuff going on with me. Physical things. Not mental stuff. Physical stuff. And he ran off and wouldn't say a word to me on any type of social media, on the phone or anything. And so it's terrifying. Real life terrifying to any person, sane or otherwise. Just terrifying. So yeah, maybe I did have psychotic episodes. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what is psychotic or not. I mean, some of them, I think, looking back, I can pinpoint maybe were actual psychosis, but if they were psychosis, I couldn't have helped it at the time. There would have been no way for me to have helped it, because I am someone who is actually, my battery's flashing, but I'm someone who actually has a mental illness. So, I mean, the point is, you just can't help those things. But my battery is flashing, so, I mean, the point is, the stigma, you can't help it. You can't help it. And I'm going to change my battery, and I'm going to come back with a part 2 on this stigma thing, okay? I will either have learned to edit this together, or the link to the other video will be in the underbar, because this is a part 2 video on the stigma of, like, psychosis. But I'm gonna go into, like, more of what this guy said, because it was hilarious to me. It was hilarious in the laugh or I might cry kind of way. But, he went on to say that, that he had his bachelor's degree in mental health and substance abuse therapy, and that he would have had me committed. That one, he had the power to have me committed, which, if he had a degree in these things, he would have known that legally he didn't have the power to have me committed. That there are very specific things that have to go on for you to have someone committed. Me threatening to feed a child to an alligator is not enough of a threat to get me into a mental hospital. It isn't. It simply is not. Because I have actually been to a mental hospital under threat of, like, I am going to harm myself, and my insurance still said no, that they wouldn't pay for it, and the hospital still turned me away. So, I mean, it takes a lot with our system to get into a mental hospital these days, to get committed. Especially, it takes a lot to get committed. It takes a lot to get committed when you want to be committed. It takes a lot to get, like, into the hospital when you want to go. And it takes 10 times more to get committed against your will. Like, you would have to basically have a gun out and aimed at someone to, like, be okay, go to the crazy house. Because, I mean, one, the places are overcrowded. Two, it's like, someone's gonna have to pay for it, and it's like, I mean, someone has to pay for it, and either it's gonna be insurance, or it's gonna be the state, or it's gonna be you, and someone's gonna be forced to pay. They're going to be forced to pay. They're gonna be forced to pay for your care, and especially if it's something you're not gonna want, and it's something you're not gonna work at, then nobody's going to want to do that. Nobody in this situation is going to want to do that. But somebody's going to have to. And so, I mean, that's tons of money. A whole lump of money. Just like thrown away. Just like burned. At someone's expense. So, I mean, that's something that has happened. Something that is going to happen. That people are just not willing to do. But this guy says he has a degree, like a college degree, and says he knows, like, all this stuff. And I'm like, no, buddy. It's like, you literally couldn't have had me committed. There's no way. So, I mean, that's the stigma surrounding psychosis. I mean, the people are so willing to throw it around as an insult and all of these things, but nobody is willing to actually do the research into what it is. Not the professionals, not the friends of people with mental illness, not the enemies of people with mental illness, obviously, and not these people throwing around the word. It is a real thing. Psychosis is something that happens to people. Psychosis is something that happens. And when you say, oh, you're so psychotic, you're crazy, you're psychotic, man, you're psychotic. It's like, God, you're psychotic. You're just crazy. Psychotic, man. You're a psycho. It's like, that is a thing that some people are. And the people who really are, it's like there's such a stigma there. And it's so hard to, like, break through it and be like, I don't know. And as someone who is possibly falling under that diagnosis, I'm very scared for myself and the future. It's like, okay, well, if I end up having a diagnosis with psychotic features, it's like, where do I stand? It's like, what kind of life do I have? It's like, psychosis, I mean, from, like, just a social point, it's like, you know, I can't come out and play today, guys. I'm psychotic. You know, that's not a word, it's not a word other people understand. So, I feel like it's one of the, it's something you have to hide. But worse than, there are things with disabilities and mental illnesses that you have to hide. If you're autistic, it's like sometimes you don't want to tell other people you're autistic, or, you know, if you have depression or anxiety, you don't want to tell other people. It's like if you have a panic attack or something, or if you're having an anxious day, you don't want to tell other people. But if you have psychosis, you really can't tell other people. The choice is made for you. There isn't any kind of campaign out there in the world saying, hey, let's make this a thing that's, you know, no, there isn't. There's nothing there for us. And people with psychosis, I mean, I've known other people with psychosis, it's just, they're people who have a hard time sometimes. They struggle sometimes, but they're not bad people. They're not crazy. They're not crazy. It's just their brain, there's something funny in it. There's a wire that's, you know, disconnected, or something gone wrong, you know, a short circuit, something weird, and things go funny sometimes, but and there's no way for us to tell people, you know, hey, you know, it's like, I really want to come, but if I come, it's like, I might get kind of funny, I might get kind of psychotic. Is that okay? It's like, you know, can people make a place for us in the world where our needs are met too? Because, I mean, I don't know. It's such a new thing for me too. It's something I'm just learning about, and I don't know. I mean, if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them. That's why I make these videos. So, anyway, please leave your comments below, and I'd like to start a discussion about this. That's just what I want to do. Okay. Thanks for listening. Bye.